At home, without a framework of just law, impartially administered, freedom becomes anarchy. And without order, it degenerates into the tyranny of the strong. And abroad, freedom can only flourish if our dedication to it is never in doubt. Mr. Chairman, there are always powerful dictators and powerful countries who would snuff it out. Nations whose ambitions would deny freedom to others as they deny freedom to their own people. Dictators who cannot bear to be opposed. They must know beyond all doubt that we in Britain have the capacity and the will to secure and to defend our own way of life. It was Pericles of Athens, 2,500 years ago, who gave our civilization an understanding of that need. He said to his fellow citizens, "Freedom is the sweet possession of those alone who have the courage to defend it." Mr. Chairman, we in the Conservative Party and the Conservative government have the courage to lead our people to defend it. The fact is that our policies have kept the peace in Europe for 38 years. And that is a prize above all others. And we must not put it at risk now. And our determination to defend freedom and to retain the capacity to deter marks the great divide between Conservatives and our opponents. After years of wrangling and strife, the Labour left has won, and Labour is committed to abandoning nuclear weapons while leaving them in the hands of our enemies. Mr. Foote says, and I quote, "If you vote Labour, you are voting for a Britain without nuclear weapons." Of course, he also says we'd still be strong, free and loyal to our friends. But nothing could be further from the truth. If we had no nuclear deterrent, the balance between East and West would be upset. Britain would be wide open to blackmail, because without a missile being fired, if we had no nuclear weapons, the Russians could demand of us to do what they will, and we'd have no alternative but to surrender. Is that freedom? In my book, that would be serfdom, and that's no fit state for Britain. A Conservative victory on June the 9th makes peace with freedom and justice more sure. It sends a message to the world that Britain is still a bastion of liberty and law, that Britain is still a staunch and a reliable ally. Doesn't that give real hope to your generation? A solid base upon which to build your lives. Most of you here are going to live a long time into the 21st century. We've all got to see to it that you'll have that great heritage of liberty that our forebears won for us. And we've got to see that it is our responsibility to hand on our heritage to future generations and to add our contribution to it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your future which is at stake, and that future starts on Thursday. What we do in these next 5 years will set the course for your lifetime. Oh, Britain could make futile gestures and hope that the Soviet Union would reciprocate. Do you believe they would? No! Ask the Czechs, ask the Hungarians, ask the Poles, ask the Afghans. Then Britain could try quack cures for unemployment, but that wouldn't produce the jobs. Britain could let down her friends and desert her allies, but that wouldn't build a secure and stable Britain. Britain could do all of those things, either with Labour or Labour's former allies, the Alliance. But if we were to do those things, we'd regret it all our lives, and that's far too long for anyone here. And that's why there aren't going to be any regrets, because in the next few days we're going to do everything in our power to see that a Conservative government is returned on Thursday. To see that Britain votes for her future, that Britain votes for genuine jobs, and that Britain votes for peace with freedom and justice. And that's why we ask you to make sure that next Thursday, Britain votes decisively for the government that has restored her confidence and rekindled her pride.